Hello everybody, welcome back again and thank you as always for watching. Last time out, and the last couple of times out in the scale videos, hope been of some help in introducing the major and minor basic scales and the shapes to play them. When I was watching them back, it occurred to me that if there is anybody out there watching it who doesn't have any current musical theory knowledge, then they might be watching it thinking, yeah, okay, Steve, we accept that it's great for warming up and a little bit of practice and knowledge of the fretboard, but is that all there is to it? And of course the answer to that is no, it's not all there is to it. Scales are the foundation of everything in music, and they therefore I felt it was worthwhile just doing an extra little addition just to try and illustrate the point of how they all hang together. As always, in my own layman terms, I'm sure any experienced musicians will be throwing things at the screen by the end of this, but hopefully to us lay people this will be of some use. Every piece of music that's ever been written in modern Western music style is written in what's called a key. And the keys are the 11 different notes that are available to us that we've been talking about so far. If we started at A, went A sharp, B, C, right the way through to G sharp, and then we started at A again for a new set of 12 notes. So there are 11 different what are called key signatures, and every single one of them, A sharp, B, so on and so on, they all have a major and a minor scale pattern that we were playing last time out. And if you remember those patterns that we were going through, then all you have to do is select the fret that you want to start from, and that pattern will get you through the major or minor scale. But the really important part of the scales is that whatever key the piece of music you're listening to is written in, then the notes that make up the scale of that will basically appear in the piece of music until such time as the song either ends or changes key, which some songs do, of course. Some stay in the same key all the way through, some tend to hop around from various key transitions. So what I wanted to try and do was just show you a couple of quick extracts from songs which I hope will make the point. The first one I had in mind is With or Without You by U2, which is written in D major. So applying the theory of last time to D major, we would play D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, and back to D again. So to play a D major scale, there are two black notes appearing in it, F sharp and C sharp. Now, the bass line of With or Without You is a very straightforward one to play. There are only 4 notes in it, and they repeat basically all the way through the song. It starts on a D, normal D, down to an A, up to a B, and down to a G. And he basically does that all the way through the song, Clayton. And just as a little aside there, yes, I know from what we've talked about before, you could play it on the 5th fret and down to 5th fret, up to 2nd and down to 3rd. The reason I did it all on the E string is debate rages in various places about how Clayton actually does play the song. Some are convinced that he plays it all the way up and down E, others are convinced that he hops around even 3 strings not 2. But the majority of opinion seems to be around all on E, because you can hear him sliding the note on it. So when he plays D, and then hops down to A, those slides there, you can hear him playing those slides, and that's what's convincing people that he's playing it all on E. Anyway, I digress. So the fact that there are no sharps appearing in the bass line there means that the sharps that do form the D major scale must therefore be appearing in the melody of either the lead rhythm guitar or the singing. And unfortunately, I don't have access to the music to be able to prove that one to you. So to try and make the point of that, I've got another piece of music in mind which will hopefully illustrate it. Great rock song, She Sells Sanctuary by The Cult. Now that one's written in G major. So if we're playing G major, that has one sharp in it. If we went, there's a G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So the difference there between D major and G major. Now, again, the bass line for Sanctuary is very, very straightforward. It starts on a D, down to C, and finishes on a G. And the only little variation to that comes in the verse when he goes B, C, B, G. And he does that all the way through the song as well. So again, like With or Without You, there are no sharp notes appearing in that bass pattern anywhere at all. He's just playing 4 natural. So again, the F sharp, that means that we're playing a G major scale, must therefore appear in the lead rhythm guitar and or the singing. And hopefully I can kind of show that to you. What you'll have to use your imagination here, because this actually appears in Billy Duffy's lead guitar riff. And I'm playing it at least 2 octaves lower than it's probably actually being played in the song, but hopefully if you can recall the song, you'll get the picture. Imagine the very, very start of the song before he does a little dee 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 dee. So he's starting that on an A, G, and there's the F sharp. And then bass. So that's an example of how that song is held together by G major, the bass not using anything different to, it all looks like the same major, D or G major, because it's not playing any sharps, but the sharps are appearing in the melody up above. And another good example of it occurred to me this afternoon. A great song from when I was much, much younger. I call it a song, it was a piece of music by the progressive rock band Sky. They did a great piece of music called Toccata, which was actually that good that a classical music composer got hold of it and rewrote it and did a cover of it. Johann Sebastian Bach, and he, being a bit of a show-off, he actually gave it its full title of Toccata and Fugue in D minor. And apologies for the rubbish there. That's certainly one difference between classical music and contemporary music. You don't hear With or Without You by U2 in D major. You just hear With or Without You by U2. But quite a lot of classical music in its full title includes the key that it was written in. And Bach's Toccata and Fugue in D minor is just one example of probably thousands of that. And a D minor, we're going back to the last time of the minor pattern scale. We're playing, and if you can imagine the start, again, this is actually the melody, not the bass, but he's starting on a natural D. So he plays D, E, F, D. So he's basically just climbed up the first 6 notes of the D minor scale. And then back down again. And those were just using all the regular notes of the D minor scale. That wasn't a very good version, and probably not a great example, but I just thought it held everything. It kind of illustrated everything what we were talking about, so I thought I'd have a brief go at it. So I hope that gives you some kind of background as to why scales are so important, and it's so important to understand them, because it doesn't matter what piece of music or song you listen to, the scale, the key it's written in is the absolute foundation of it. To understand it properly, we have to get into proper written sheet music, and I haven't done anything like that yet, and to be honest, I'm not sure I will, based on my limited knowledge of it as well. I probably won't do a great piece on it, but it is worth spending the time going into and having a look at and understanding properly. So I'll leave that one there, folks. As always, thank you very much for watching, and do please stay safe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.